Nothing. I am saying nothing. You spoke about you spoke about studio. Internet died.
Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Guys on Gaffr. It's been a little while since we've done the Championship pod, but this is episode 5 now for our Gaffr Championship pods. We are three guys who love fantasy football, play lots of fantasy football games, and we're going to talk about all things Gaffr today. I am joined once again, I'm Ep5 Joel by the way on Twitter, and I'm joined by David at Strom_FF on Twitter and Abhishek at FPL_buddy on Twitter. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, I'm good. We mustn't forget Spencer, who is still part of the pod, even though he's not been on.
Yeah,
he's a very busy man at the moment, so
yeah.
we hope he'll be back soon. But we'll see. He's still very heavily invested in both Gaffr games though, so that is good. And
yes.
Pretty sure he owns Vyman. So the plan for today is go through our teams as usual, and we're just going to do like a kind of buy, hold, or sell on a number of players. I've got a list in front of me of players we can discuss. We may not do all of them. I've got about 11, 12 on the list. We'll do some of those and just discuss our thoughts. Players that kind of quite a few people own, but maybe not everybody. Who, players that might look like they're coming into form that we should maybe buy, or players that a lot of people have that might be worth considering selling. But first, let's dive straight into our teams. What game week are we on? They go so quickly. Was it game week 20? It was game week 20.
Yeah.
Abhishek, your team is first up on the screen, and as well as kind of how your team's done this week, just if you want to say a little bit more on kind of how it's gone the last few weeks, because it's a little while since we've podded.
Yeah, so I'm having a bit of a trouble here because since game week 16 my last green arrow was in game week 16. Since then 17, 18, 19 I have been getting red arrows. Not that I have been scoring bad, but it's just that some vice captains and captaincy choices haven't gone my way. Plus, loads have played many boosts in 17, 18. So that has costed me a bit, but so far I am happy with where I am as of now. Coming into the game week 20, it looks like that my team hasn't been playing well since the Thanksgiving. They haven't they haven't come into playing because no returns apart from Townsend and Swift. Mitrovic blanked, which was surprising to see, but hey, you have to go with the flow. No, nothing much to talk about. Lots of twos, lots of ones, lots of threes. And generally speaking, it was quite a low game week, but with Willock scoring and Solanke also, I think Solanke scored. Or
No, he didn't.
No, Solanke.
I would
Willock has scored, and somewhere also some player that I didn't own has cost me
Patterson?
Patterson. Patterson has scored. So that's the only that's the two players. Also, I have been owning Patterson, but since I have sold him the last 2 game weeks, he has gone on to score 2 goals. So thank you very much. And Swansea has been down a bit. They are scoring goals, but they are not being keeping clean sheets that much. So I own Layer. I need to see what I do with him. So he has been there. He's scoring 0 points for the past two game. Yeah, this game week he has scored in previous game week 19 also. I think no, he has scored eight
He did
points. I
alright
think
last game
before.
week, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
before.
did I vice? I think I vice captained him last game week.
Mhm. Yeah, so I am fully focusing on the budget boost now. That's why you are seeing so many budget players in my squad. So let's hope that boost is going well. It does go well for me, so that I can get in some more players who are renowned for scoring goals and also. Yeah, overall, I scored 30 points this game week. It has got me a red arrow of I think 50 odd places. Yeah, yeah, 50 to 60 odd places. So in 378th position in the world. So I'm happy with that overall after 20 game weeks. So looking forward to the boosts that we are going to play in the next few game weeks.
Cool. Yeah, I actually think this has probably been, if not the lowest, like one of the lowest scoring weeks of all time in
Yeah.
Gaffr. It's been a very strange one.
Mm,
David, you're up next. You fared slightly better this week.
Yeah, you could say so. But if you look at like the 2 game weeks that have gone by as a whole, I've done pretty bad. Because like I think I'm maybe at like the lowest point I've been in rank wise since like game week 4.
Mm.
So yeah, in the gaming 19 I got 57 points, which got me from 93rd to 174th. And this week I only went 10 places back, but still, yeah, could be worse, I guess. But yeah, my team this week, yeah, I I did kind of in hindsight maybe a bit of stupid decision, but it still went okay because it was like talk of Mitrovic being injured, but
mm,
he kinda wasn't, and I like noticed that when team sheets came out. But I got in. I had two free transfers, so I got in Solanke and McNair for
mm,
Mitrovic and Low from Forest. And thankfully Mitrovic didn't do anything, but
Got away
Solanke
with
didn't
it.
either. So yeah,
Got away with it.
but I would have been laughing if Solanke got a goal or something, but he didn't. So
Yeah.
and
mm,
yeah, other than that, it was just Swift and yeah, Townsend who got something. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do now, but I hope I can do 1 week more without Mitrovic.
Yeah. Well, with Bournemouth up next, it could be okay.
yeah.
You might be alright for one more week. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, my team 39 points this week, not great. In terms of before this week, it's actually been going really well. I had a couple of weeks where I kind of zoomed up from outside the top 100 into the top 50, which is really good. Last game week in game week 19, I played super subs, which was really close to going really well. I had kind of 23 points on my bench in total, thanks to the Coventry double clean sheet. McFadden's 9 and Moore's 6, but then Mitrovic didn't play, which meant that if I hadn't played the boost, McFadden would have come on for me anyway, which put me down to 14 points, which now feels a little bit mediocre. Because like 23, I feel like that would have beaten a lot of the captain boosts that people would have played. Like if people had played multi-captain instead, I think I would have beaten that with my 23, most likely, unless like people chose a week where like Mitrovic really went off on one. But it was fine, absolutely fine. And then this week, 39 points, 5-place red arrow down to 35th. But I'm very happy with where I'm at the moment. Willock got a goal to kind of salvage things a bit last night, although it was a little bit devastating. I don't know if you guys have seen the two chances that happened where Willock crosses that Chair headed. One, he kind of blazed over the bar when he just needed to head it on target, and he probably would have scored. And then in the lead up to the winning goal, it was a Willock cross. Chair's header hit the post and then it bounced back out for Andre Gray, who scored. Probably would have been, I think it would have been an assist in FPL, but in Gaffr we don't get assists for like rebounds off a keeper's save or the post. So it was so close to being like that combination of Chair to Willock twice. So it's like, oh, could have been better, even better. But anyway,
I mean, it's bad enough that I was hoping for points from my only QPR asset, but then when I saw that, oh God,
yeah.
why the so close?
Yeah, so Willock was my transfer in this week because I'm playing Budget Buster next week. So that's the plan. I'll probably take a -4 and have 8 budget players. Most likely, and I mean, we'll move. Actually, I'll talk about that later, kind of what my plans are. But yeah, that's the plan, and I'm trying not to use my fall as well. So that's where I'm at, and I'm feeling pretty happy with where I am at the moment. So let's move on to some players buy, hold, or sell. So let's try and be kind of fairly quick. We'll all go around and give our thoughts on each player. And we'll start with a player who is
okay. Okay, just before you go, let's shout Beery's team as well. Yeah, the viewers have been. We don't have any graphics for it because he was away. So in game week 20, he also scored, I think, 39 points. He had Patterson who returned for him. That was also his vice. He has the West Brom double clean sheet of Furlong and Townsend. Apart from that, lots of 1 and 2s. He captained Mitrovic like everyone else. And in 19, he had 91 points. I think Solanke, Patterson, and Townsend were his main scorers, along with Laird, Furlong. And yeah, that's where he's now residing at overall rank of 142nd in the world. So that's our 4th member of the guys on Gaffr doing it. So I need a lot of catching up to do because you guys are in the top 150. I am way below. So yeah,
almost.
yeah.
So yeah,
Need to
let's
smash that
move
Budget
on
Buster.
to
Okay.
kind of have to now smash that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So the first player I'm going to mention, this is one of David's ideas, is a player that a lot of people have had for quite a while and would have a few weeks ago looked like a great Budget Buster option, and that is Viktor Gyökeres of Coventry. I think he got benched at the weekend against Bournemouth, and he hasn't scored in quite some time. So, David, sell or hold if you own him?
Yeah, I'm not too fussed on him actually. I moved off him, or I couldn't get him. That was the thing. So I was like not considering him at all. But I was quite happy that he didn't like continue his form because I couldn't have him anyway. But yeah, he's cheap and all. But if you're like going for the budget thing, he fits for the bill. But he's yeah, I think there's better options.
Yeah, Abhishek, what would you say?
Yeah, echo what David is saying. He's kind of sell, not buy kind of thing now, because other forwards, cheap forwards, are started to play ahead of him. The likes of, I think, they have, Max Dool, Gordon.
Gordon's the one, yeah. I think he's become the main man now. He's kind of back fully fit.
Yeah, and also with him, I think this benching may help him in the long run because he has been not firing at all. So yeah, it's a sell for me as well. Not buy, definitely not buy, and those who own sell.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he's a sell. I think what's becoming clear is that he is playing when they're playing 2 up front for the most part, but when they play 1 up top, Godden is the guy they're going for. Godden's also on penalties. And he's much more informed. So I think Godden is a potential option if you want to have a striker, although they,
Yeah,
for Budget Buster, not in 21, but maybe in 23. Not sure they've
yeah.
got in 23 actually. I just know in 21 they've got West Brom, so he's probably not the best option. So yeah, I think he's a sell as well. So that was a nice quick one.
And also, he's owned by 15% now. Now that we have ownership stats, he's quite heavily. He's the fifth most owned player in the game
You
in
have
strikers. So
opened a can of worms, David. You have opened a can of worms.
Sorry.
Do you want to discuss this?
No,
Do
no, please, please. I have been constantly discussing it for the past 24 hours. I don't need to discuss it now.
Far more
Please.
controversial than it
Yeah.
could have been.
I'm just
than I
saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
He had to open it.
Feel free to
had to.
mention ownership stats. I'm not against that at all. Just, if you want to mention ownership, go for it.
Yeah.
We're just going to say it and just leave it there and just let it hang in there.
If you don't like it, then sorry, but we're doing it anyway. As we have the information.
Let's move on.
The next player I'm going to go for is a player that probably a similar sort of thing to Victor, in that probably more people have him actually at the moment, but he's kind of not doing an awful lot. That's Brennan Johnson, Nottingham Forest. We'll go to Abhishek first. Buy, hold, or sell?
If you own him, especially because in the in game week 21 and 23 with Budget Buster hanging around, you kind of need a midfielder who is less than 6.5, and so Johnson ticks the box. He is their main man, kind of, because the amount of chances he creates, the lively he looks in the games. He's their main man as of now, but his form has somewhat died down a bit due to, I think, Zinkernagel, Yates, and Graben uh, picking up the paces. And also, so I think for me he's a hold, especially considering the Budget Buster boost. If you are not playing Budget Buster boost in the coming weeks, then maybe it's a sell, but I'm not too keen on. I will be, if I don't play Budget Buster, I will be holding on to Johnson as well, because the minute there's a return, or Nottingham Forest scores a goal, or it's a return, some kind of a return, Johnson should be going in the back, should have that return, at least assist one on, or scoring goals, because he's still their main man, and also he gets a lot of bonuses as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to as well, especially if you are playing midfield captaincy of boost or the Budget Buster boosts, that will boost your points tally as well. So it's a hold, but not for long, because their fixtures turn for the bad in the coming, after I think 23 or 25, their fixtures turn.
Pretty soon, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you have to be pretty much aware of that. I think after 20, from 25 onwards, they have no from no from 25 they have nice run. After 28, I think 28, 29, yeah, 29, they it's starting to turn also. But also you have to see what kind of form your opponents are in. It's showing in the Gaffr website green fixtures. That doesn't mean that Forest will win you matches. So you have to see at that as well. So it's a hold for me for the moment, but not for too long.
Fair enough, David.
Yeah, I was just looking at Whitebeard's website as we were speaking. If some of the listeners don't know what this is, definitely check it out. How do you not know about this? It's a great site for stats, and yeah, it's awesome. And I was just looking at points per 90 for Johnson, and he's like one of the lowest rated in the most scoring midfielders at 5.67. And you can just see like Cornick for Luton, he has 8.3, and he's like the same price.
I didn't think there'd be that much of a difference. That's quite surprising, but yeah.
And the same price. Yeah, and if you're like, and also another thing with the budget buster chip, it's just to confirm, it's like you have to have players below 6 million, i.e. 5.9 or lower,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah,
both Cornick and Johnson are 5.9 now. So if they go up before the weekend,
Hang on.
mm.
you won't be able to have them in your boosts.
I think it's actually 6.5 or less.
Really?
Sorry, 6.4 or less than 6.5 for mids. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Forget everything I said. Then. But yeah, still, I think Cornick is a better pick, and
Yeah,
of course the main man Synchronoggle is of course the better force player, so you should definitely get him instead.
yeah,
Because there's definitely
No
no
question.
bias involved there,
yeah.
David.
No, 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 not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we trust you.
Well, my thoughts. I'm going to give a bit of more of a kind of eye test view on this one because it's like the only
Yeah.
team I can give like a proper good eye test view on because I've been to 3 Forest games
Yeah.
recently since moving to Nottingham. Tickets are so cheap. £6 for the Luton game.
What?
£6. It's brilliant. It's because I'm less than 24. I'm not age 24 yet, so they had to like that age bracket, which is a lot cheaper. Anyway, so the 3 games I've been to are Fulham,
Yeah.
Preston, which they won 3-0, and Luton in last midweek where they drew 0-0. My impression was that Johnson is probably their best attacking player. He's impressed me the most, especially with his direct running. Sorry, David. Zinkenagle's been mixed. There've been games where I've been quite impressed with him, then he kind of goes missing and goes quiet, and I don't know, he's been okay. But anyway, yeah, with his direct running, his finishing, a bit Adama Traore-ish maybe, but like, he's I still think he's their best attacking player. What I did notice in the Luton game in particular, he played on the left, and they tried to fit him and Joe Lolly in the team. They put Lolly on the right, which is where Brendan Johnson usually plays, and he was a lot more quiet on the left. I think it didn't help that Max Lowe was out and they were playing Jack Cole back there, so he didn't kind of link up well with him. Whereas kind of Spence was his usual self, bombing forward, and he was the best player on the pitch in the Luton game, I thought. And I think Johnson does link up quite well with Spence when he's playing on the right. And actually at half time they did switch. He did switch over to the right, but he didn't really have much time to make an impact before the red card.
Yeah.
I think Forest generally are kind of struggling for goals a bit, from what I've been watching. So I have him for my budget buster against Peterborough. I will probably sell him straight away after that for Harry Wilson and get him back. However, as you said, Abhishek, the fixtures are kind of nice. They've got Swansea, not easy, but then they've got Hull, and it's not bad for a few weeks. So I think he is. I think I will probably sell, but if you want to hold him for those fixtures, I think it's justifiable. If Forest score, he's likely to be involved. I hope he does do something against Peterborough. But generally, I do think Forest is struggling a little bit for goals.
Yeah. And also when you have Graben as your number 9, which team
Now,
will not struggle?
I think Graben
Although,
gets a bit too much. It's a bit harsh on him because I noticed in the Luton game they started Lyle Taylor, and he was terrible. He couldn't hold up the ball. And Graben, they needed that kind of player holding up, because like if Graben holds it up, he can kind of play Johnson in behind. And I actually think he can do that quite well. And against Preston, he's very good. Graben, he got 2 goals and he played very well.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not like one of the best strikers in the Championship, but I don't think he's absolutely terrible like a lot of people think he is.
No, it's
my opinion.
not that it's not that he's terrible. It's because we have been playing this from last season and he hasn't been performing to us.
Yeah.
So kind of that thing that no more Graben this season.
He's not a
But he
Gaffr
has
asset,
been,
that's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not a Gaffr asset, but he has been ticking along nicely. 89 points he has scored. Possibly, I think he's what? How many in the forward section? I think he's Oh, he's way down. Never mind. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th. Sorry, never mind. but but yeah, he has been hogging on the goals lately for the past 2 game weeks. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to have a wild card punt, then certainly go for grabbing.
Cool.
Hang on, Nottingham Forest haven't scored in the 2 last game week. What are you talking about?
Last, not last. Before that, I think they scored against Preston, right?
They
They
won
didn't
3
score.
0 3-0 against Preston. They were good in that game, but I think it was more down to how bad Preston were. They were in that Preston. I watched them in that game, then I was like, how did they beat Bournemouth? And then they just drawn with Fulham as
Yeah,
well, and it was
yeah.
weird because they were dreadful in that game.
Well, that's
In
championship for
every
you.
in every department. So, yeah,
Yeah. It's very typical Gaffr player behavior to slide the grab and be like being a bad player because like we only look at the points and if he's not getting points he must be a bad player. But like I think probably 70-80% of the players playing Gaffr probably never watched a championship game in the season.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
So they don't like, have any eye test like we do in the Premier League. So yeah,
yeah.
Mm.
I think it's
kind of unfair.
difficult.
Mm.
It is difficult to get the eye
Mm.
test. I've had a bit better this season than last season because I actually have Sky Sports now, so I can watch. Like I try and
Mm.
watch some of the games every now and again. Like when the Champions
Mm.
League was on, I actually tended to watch the Championship instead,
Wow.
or I'd split screen it. I'd like split screen it. But yeah, because
So,
I've not got into Champions League fantasy particularly. Whereas obviously I'm massively into Gaffr.
what?
I'm playing. I've actually given up on this season now, but it's one I just haven't had time to squeeze in amongst everything else that I'm already invested in, which has been the issue. It's just a time issue. I like get to Tuesday and it's like, oh, I have like 20 minutes to think about it and I don't really have the knowledge. So
Yeah, I'm the same, but I'm doing also.
fair.
It's like so. It's you have like I'm finally done with fantasy for the weekend, just like the Tuesday. Okay, like again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. Next player.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got two more that I will throw out, and then I'll ask you guys if you want any others to be thrown out.
Mm.
This next one is a player that a lot of people will have, and it's more of a case of is he a buy, like a must-buy player, and that's Paddy McNair. Because when he scored that goal in midweek last week, I think it was, or was it the weekend before? Fairly recently, he scored, and I was surprised how many people owned him. I kind of flicked through the top 20 teams. I was like 50, 40, maybe 40% of them own him, and I was like, how's that happened? I thought he wasn't a great pick. So anyway, what do you guys think? Is he obviously if you got him, he's a hold, right? But is he a player that we should be looking to buy for these attacking returns?
I'll just say yes because I have him, but yeah, don't ask me. I'm biased again.
No, I think it's a classic Swift situation that we discussed fewer.
Swift. The Swift situation.
Classic Swift situation that you own him, hold him, don't buy him.
Oh, right.
You said that again for Swift. You said that literally for Swift. Now you're putting on me that Swift situation.
I thought
That's
you were
not
going
fair
down
at
the
all.
line of he's actually essential now. If you sell him, you've made a bad mistake, like I did when I sold him. I thought that's what you were referring to.
No.
Okay, that makes more sense.
If you hold him, if you have him, then hold him. Don't
Okay.
try to buy him because we are still don't know about how Chris Wilder is going to play. It's only 2 games, so let's watch a few more games. Then we can come to an assumption that how Wilder's team will play because we know how Sheffield United play when he was in the Premier League, but with the players he had in Sheffield United, don't think that sort of players he had in Middlesbrough. So have to see how he implements it. Have to look at for a few more matches before we start. But as of now, McNair is their talisman because he's taking the penalties and he's a big presence in the box, especially in set pieces and corners. So yeah, if you have him, definite hold him. Don't try to sell him now. But if you are looking to buy at him, possibly wait a few more matches before you pull the trigger, because at least for me, other players are performing well. Plus, he's not cheap. He's kind of in the price range of Townsend and Robinson of Fulham and West Brom. So they are playing attacking fullbacks, Robinson and Townsend of Fulham and West Brom. But McNair is he's in the defense, but only coming up when Borough gets a penalty or corners and set pieces. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
Hmm. I'm not sure I agree actually, because like if this was
Mm,
FPL and like he was one of the more pricey options from like a mid-table team
mm,
that was having both penalties and corners and stuff, and even if he was playing a bit deeper, he'll still get those things. I think we would
mm,
like go for him right away. But because his name is
mm,
Paddy McNair and he's playing for Middlesbrough, we're like,
mm,
he's probably too much.
mm,
We can't like compare it to FPL if he was a 6.3 asset there, because like he wouldn't be.
mm,
So I
mm,
think it's a very good option, and you should if you I think it's those things you just said should be a pointer to like why you should get him.
mm, mm,
I was just looking at his heat maps and trying to work out how dangerous he looks, because there are some where he looks like he's not getting in very advanced positions at all, and others where he kind of is. My view has kind of always been, I'm kind of wavering on it a bit, but it's kind of always been Middlesbrough don't keep enough clean sheets. Sure, he's going to get the odd penalty and the odd goal, but it's not going to be frequent enough to warrant the price. Like if he was 5 million,
mm,
he'd be pretty much essential. But like,
mm,
especially as I think for me, a lot of times sometimes I've been playing to a bit more of a tight budget, and I prefer the wing backs like Laird or someone to him. But I'm wavering a bit on that now.
mm,
Maybe he is worth the money.
mm,
Obviously, Chris Wilder likes his like overlapping centre backs, and I think there has been signs of him kind of implementing that already.
mm,
So, I mean, my honest answer is I'm not sure. It was if like a kind of obviously he's a great player to have, but I'm in no rush to buy him.
mm,
But I'm not so sure. I'm just skeptical about the amount of clean sheets. But what you've got to remember in Gaffr is when you've got half clean sheets, or it kind of mitigates that quite a bit.
mm.
And Middlesbrough will keep plenty of half clean sheets. So
Yeah. If the thing is that I was in SofaScore last night and I was looking at some heat maps. Such funnily enough, I I was going through Middlesbrough because I need a second goalkeeper because seemingly Lumley has been benched. So I was looking at some season heat maps. He can play in the right side of the defense. If Wilder used to play that 3-5-2 formation, that wing back formation, if he plays there, then certainly he becomes a really good option, judging by his prices and returns as well. Possibly he's on penalties as well, so he can be the assists, end of the assist for the goals for their for their strikers. So if he plays in the central defense, that's why I was telling that not buy, because predominantly I think he is playing in central defense. But if he's playing in the wing back positions, then certainly I will be looking to get him in quickly, because he might give you certain amount of points and bonus points as well. Plus, he is in the
yeah,
penalties also. Yeah,
it's hard to tell from the heat maps actually because I haven't. I've only seen a few highlights of Middlesbrough because like there's one game that
yeah,
looks like he is in that right wing back position. There's another one that
yeah,
kind of he looks like he's playing left centre back and he's kind of being like an overlapping
yeah,
centre back. It's
yeah.
kind of
Lots
difficult to
of red.
tell.
Yeah, lots of red in forced zones, especially in the right hand side. Not much in the left hand side or in the middle of the park, but especially in the right hand side when they are attacking towards their opponent's goal. Lots of red zones. So
Yeah,
one to look out for if he is playing there.
yeah, yeah. We need a
Yeah,
Borough fan to clear that up for us. I feel.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's like those. He's like that kind of player that like he does well for a while, and then he gets like a monster haul, and everyone wants to get him, and then he keeps going like yeah,
mm,
average. So you just have to
mm,
have him for that moment. They don't know when that is.
Yeah.
So I'll just go
mm,
safe, just have him in my team.
Fair
Mm.
enough. Yeah. Right. Let's move on. So I think we've probably exhausted that one. This is a bit of a left field shout
Mm.
that most people won't have. In fact, I'd be shocked if anyone in the top 50 has this player. Jaden Bogle, Sheffield
Yeah.
United, playing right wing back at the moment under the new manager, and he got a goal
Mm.
the other week. Um,
Oh yes, Sheffield
Thoughts,
United now.
or is this a bit too left field?
I've just like said no to their defense for the rest of the season because I've been so screwed over by Baldock this season. So I'll just not get any of them.
They are off the back
So
of 2 clean sheets in a row.
Mm.
His heat map is looking actually quite good. He's looking very
Mm.
attacking.
really,
Probably comparable to a Spence's heat map. I'm going to get up a Spence heat map alongside. Afraid we won't be showing this on the screen, but it's just for our own kind of
Mm.
um,
I
help.
I think hacking they have a new manager, so that may be part of a new manager bounce that we
Yeah,
see in
that's
fan.
why that's why I'm kind of bringing it up. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so. But uh, for me, he's priced at quite a high price. Sheffield United defenders are priced this season so very high that even if you want to own them, you can't have to make room for some things. Bogle is 6.6 million defender with so many lower owned defenders doing well. Yeah, it's a shout. It's a really differential shout because he has been doing pretty good last two game weeks since Heckingbottom takes had to taken United's Sheffield United's charge. So yeah, he's looking good, but still it's a no for me. I can't justify with the amount of price tag he has. Lots of defense lone defenders are doing well, plus you have 2 6 million defenders already in your team, the likes of Furlong, Townsend and Robinson. So plus McNair, like David said, he's also 6.3. So to you have to settle for someone to accommodate him. So who you going to sell out of that four? No, none really ticks the box to be a proper replacement as Bogle. So it's definitely not a buy for me, but definitely he's a player who will be on everyone's watch list because he has been doing really well since the new manager has come in.
I think he's. I'd say he's definitely on my watch list. I'm looking at the Reading game on the 23rd, and his heat map. There was
Mm,
just a load of red inside the Reading half. In fact, he's spent more time in the Reading half than outside of it, and that's the game where he scored. He also missed a big chance, and in the Bristol City game, most recent game, again a really nice looking heat map. He's getting very far forward. A couple of key passes in there as well. The next three fixtures are Cardiff away, QPR at home, Fulham away. He's probably not a buy for those three, but after that they go on quite a decent run. Preston away, Hull at home, Middlesbrough at home, Derby away, Luton at home, Peterborough away, Birmingham away. That's a nice run, and if he's showing good signs in the next three, I may buy him for that run.
mm,
We will see. Um,
mm.
if he continues to be, because he looks like probably one of the most attacking fullbacks in the league, like on a par with the ones we already know of, like Spence and maybe Tommy Smith and Townsend on the other side. But
Yeah.
Zamora and players like that are quite. Yeah, I think he should be on people's watch lists at the very least.
Mm,
Let's not
yeah.
dismiss him just because of how Sheffield United have done.
Yeah.
We will have to see if the new manager bounce kind of continues. But two
Yeah.
clean sheets so far, we'll see.
Mm. Plus a goal to add to
And a
that.
goal, yeah.
So yeah, he's what we call in fantasy football uber differential as, but
For
in
now,
terms of yeah, but
I
the only
wonder if he'll
caveat is
become quite highly
the
owned.
only caveat is his price. He's too much of a price to be an uber differential, but he's something to special as something to note, especially in the watch list because those runs, those fixture runs, is quite tasty and quite nice. Quite
I'm
nice.
eyeing it up now. Yeah. Right. I've got more players on my list, but I'll
Hmm.
throw it out to you guys. If are there any kind of players any kind of ones you kind of particularly want to come on to next?
Yeah. Jed Wallace.
Jed
I'm wondering
Wallace.
about. Yeah,
No.
That's a good one.
because I'm not sure.
Well,
Yeah.
my opinion has
Go
always
on.
been, well, for me, he's a don't buy.
Mm.
I just think, yeah, okay, he gets lots of bonus, but for his price, what was it, 10 point something million? Surely you want a few more attacking returns than he's delivering. I mean, I feel like I've not been particularly hurt by not having him.
Mm.
Having said that, is he like the second highest scoring midfielder in the game?
Yeah.
But how many points has he actually got? Wait, how many points has he got?
He has.
125, I think. Yeah. 125.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, no, he's now the fourth highest scoring midfielder. He's been overtaken. He was the second highest, I remember that, but he has now been overtaken by Harry Wilson and Patterson.
Mm.
And I can see, I look at kind of Chair and Willock and Billing, kind of what are they like, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and I think they'll overtake Wallace soon as well.
Mm.
So for me, there's much better value in the other midfielders. If we were struggling for options, then I'd be like, yeah, sure. But like my midfield is, well, actually, it was before this week. It was like Wilson, Patterson, Chair, Johnson, and Giles, and I've now got Willock as well. Like having sold Wilson, like I just think we've just got so many good options, and I don't think
Mm.
I don't think it's necessary to spend the money on Wallace, and it's probably better used elsewhere. So that's my 2 cents. I don't see that changing unless his rate of returns massively increases.
Mm. Yeah, for me, same as well. But the it's a weird thing with Wallace because the minute he we Millwall scores, Millwall gets a nil-nil. Let's say Millwall gets a nil-nil. He hogs all the bonus points. That's what taking him towards the mid top 10 midfield positions he has been. Not a lot of returns, not a lot of goals or assists, but the bonus points have helped him so very much that it's really weird to say that don't buy, don't sell, hold. It's like 33, 33, 33% across the board. You can't do anything with it. Possibly you will not get hurt with it, but not much to do with. You can have some nice points if you don't want to burn a transfer. If you want to if you don't want to burn a transfer, you can do that if you have enough in the bank. Especially after the budget boost, many will have enough on the bank. And Millwall's fixtures after game week 21 seemingly all right because they face Coventry, Bristol, Nottingham, Blackpool. So that's quite a nice run of fixtures. But as Millwall, Birmingham, Peterborough, one red across next 10 fixtures. But as if
That's
all
old red though.
Millwall,
That's start of the season red, right? Rather than actual
yeah,
red.
yeah. But
Yeah.
so,
I'm saying that actually, I'm looking and I can't see any more that I would turn red. To be fair, maybe QPR.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
But Millwall fans say they play horrible, they play not good footballs, but Wallace keeps on ticking with the points. So it's like that. It's 33% across the board. If you own him, possibly if you're looking to play boosts, sell him. If you're not looking to play boosts, stay with him because he will
Yeah.
not do anything apart from affecting your budget. That's the only thing he will do because he will hog 10.5 million from your budget. Apart from that, he will not do anything. So yeah, that's it.
David, do you have him at the moment? That's my asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
What are
do.
your like kind of like? How do you feel about having him? Like, what's it like owning him? Because I don't really have that experience of owning him. Like, is it good? Is it
Yeah.
frustrating?
Um, I don't know. I've had some good experiences with him in my team this season because he's like got me consistent points when I didn't have like Wilson and stuff. So yeah, I he's always like the player that I think that maybe I can vice captain him because he has a nice feature and it's just like sometimes it would have worked out, but like lately he's not got so much. So that's why I'm asking because he's not as consistent with like the bonus and stuff lately. But I'm just looking at like the top bonus for a season. I don't know if it's like updated, but he has 24 bonus points for where I look, and he probably has more now. So yeah, he has lots of bonus in him, and but he's a bit expensive, and I need to free up money to get back Mitrovic. So he's currently on the chopping block. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm not against having him because like he's usually a quite consistent asset. So yeah,
I think it's
Yeah.
hard sell. It's hard to sell him with those
yeah,
fixtures. He does have
he's
some really good fixtures coming up. So I do
he's
think if you
like
got him, it's like you kind of feel like you might get a burn if you sell.
yeah, he feels
Mm.
like having Bruno Fernandes in FPL at the moment because he does know
Yeah.
he can have something, but like lately he doesn't.
Come on, if you look
And
at his total goal involvements this season, Millwall have scored 20 times. I'm wondering how many of those he's been involved in. 20 is kind of one of the lowest in the league. Certainly, he's
Possibly,
lowest in the top half.
possibly 18 out
No,
of
no,
the
no.
20
Surely it's
times
not. That would be
he's got.
overkill.
let's see. He has 5 goals and 5 assists this season.
Okay,
That 10.
not
Oh,
bad.
I'm this close. I'm this close.
We should make this into a game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
It's a tricky one,
also
that.
if you want to buy sell, ask Jamie of the EFL Fantasy Podcast. He seems to be captaining on the weeks that Jed Wallace scores big. 2 weeks this season it has already happened. So definitely he knows something about Wallace or what.
I
Because
do
he was
remember Angus saying how keen he was on getting him back in. I think he got him back kind of recently, and he's saying how he
yeah,
really thought with the fixtures that they could do well. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'm in no rush
yeah,
to get him, that's for sure. I think I'll go back to
yeah,
Harry Wilson because they just
mm,
score so many goals for them, and it's inevitable
yeah,
he is involved. And
and
he's actually been a lot better recently than he was kind of at the start of the season.
yeah.
He's been really, really
And
good for me.
also with so many midfielders scoring well and cheap, they are all cheap. Apart from Wallace and Wilson, who are 10.5 and 10 million respectively, the top 20 or to 25 midfielders all are below 8 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Apart from Callum Robinson, seems to be in a merry-go-round with his team. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't start. So yeah, go for. You don't have to spend so much money. Better to spend elsewhere.
yeah. Well, I think we've exhausted that one. I think
Mm,
he's an interesting one. It's quite a tricky one.
yeah.
But yeah, let's do two more, and then
Mm,
we'll move on to kind of our
yeah.
plans. Abhishek, do you have any you'd
I
like to?
have one. I was looking right now from the midfielders list, and Derby's Tom Lawrence. He has
Interesting.
been, yeah, he's priced at
Hmm?
6.8. Tom Lawrence of Derby. Rooney's Derby. Rooney's
Okay.
tricky Derby. He has been doing quite all right. I think he's on the penalties as well. And apart from with the all the things going on with Derby, he seems to be doing quite all right in terms of an asset, if you may call. And with Derby having quite nice run of quite yeah, they have quite an ropey ride. And some are green, some are red. I don't know how Cardiff is red for Derby, but seemingly now they have, and Stoke Sheffield. Yeah, seemingly if he's they're looking likely he's their talisman. So if you don't want to spend, if you want to go for maybe I don't know against within the next two fixtures, especially in 21, 22, they face Bristol and Blackpool. Mm, might be a nice option that Tom Lawrence. He has been in quite form as well. I think from the last two games he's scoring.
So
So
yeah, he
that's
scored last night against QPR, and then he scored a brace against Bournemouth. And I've gone back to a few
mm,
more games and couldn't really see any other returns, but
mm,
he might have done a bit further back.
yeah. He looks like a good player, a good differential. If we can look at
You know
that.
what? He feels like Ross Barkley to me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like,
Maybe an
oh, he's
attitude.
like,
No,
yeah,
the Everton Ross Barkley, not the Chelsea one, not the
yeah, he's
Villa
like,
one.
oh,
Yeah, the
he's like
Everton one.
getting points now, and just like when he get him, he's like,
Yeah, yeah. When you get him,
Yeah.
he does it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think
So
he's the, unless you're talking from a fancy point of view, but as a player, I don't think he's very similar
no,
to
and that's
Barkley.
no,
purely fancy.
Okay, fair.
from
I
fantasy
don't know.
Did he
point of view,
say how much did he say it was? 6.8.
six point
6 months.
eight.
Yeah, that's quite.
Yeah,
That's
6.8.
expensive,
Yeah,
considering we've got plenty of good midfielders between 6.5 and 7.5. For
Yeah.
me, it's a no because there are too many better options.
Mm.
But I do agree that he is a very important player to their team, and when he's playing well,
Although,
I think he's
yeah,
quite streaky. I think my impression of what I've seen of him, which is not loads but a little bit, is he's quite a streaky player, and maybe he does go on a good run, but then he goes missing
yeah,
for months. And it is Derby; they're not going to score many. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's
for me
why
it's a no.
I
But
shouted out. If they are gonna score, it's like John Swift and Reading. Although now Reading have signed some good players, if Reading scored, John Swift will be on the end of it. So if Derby scores, Tom Lawrence will be on the end of it.
I'm
And
not sure to
plus,
that extent, but maybe, yeah.
yeah.
see, you have now gone once more against me.
But like, I disagree with you. But I actually think it was quite a good shout mentioning him and like
Mm,
talking about him. I actually think that's an interesting one to bring up. Like,
mm,
I don't think it's completely crazy, but it's
mm.
still a no, no from me.
One for the cash, one for the dead teams. I think.
Yeah,
Just bring him in and sign him.
yeah. I have one thing I was just looking at actually, if it's okay with you guys,
Go for it.
because like I've just looked at the scores from the last couple game weeks and just looked at who's doing well and stuff, and
Mm.
like, what's the deal with Hull City?
Yeah,
Yeah, because like I've seen two names pop up like the last three game weeks, and those players are let's see, George Honeyman and Ryan Longman,
Honeyman and Longman.
the deadly duo.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, they're in a good run, aren't they? I haven't really seen the highlights of their games, unfortunately, so I can't really like say what it's attributed to. But they beat Cardiff, right? And who else did they beat?
Yeah, and they beat Millwall.
Millwall. Was
And
there another?
yeah, and Barnsley.
Yeah, Barnsley. Like,
Barnsley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
But
They're
Cardiff
not.
still in hell. Yeah, but like they won 4 games in a row now.
who's the other team they beat?
Birmingham and
Birmingham.
Cardiff
Birmingham.
and Millwall.
Mm.
They needed that as well. They were looking very poor. So yeah, I mean, because at the start of the season when they beat Preston 4-1, I don't know why I remember that, but they beat Preston 4-1, and people was like thinking, oh, Lewis Potter might be a good option, and they look quite attacking, and then he just kind of stopped scoring goals, and now maybe they have found their feet. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Luis Potter is still their main man because he's their highest scoring player in terms of fantasy. And as
But
far
like
as
recently,
Honeyman,
like has he been as involved recently?
He scored a goal against Cardiff.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, and
he's close to touching that 100 mark. That's so he has been ticking along. It's not that he's going to score
Oh
loads in
yeah,
5 game weeks. Yeah,
he scored against Barnsley as well. Yeah,
yeah,
he could be an option, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. Eh,
just one thing to I just have to say because I just saw it
eh,
on the website. There's a guy at Hull City that's last name is Cannon, and he has
mm,
he has like 2 shots on goal and 100% shots on target.
That's called a low sample size, David. That's
Yeah,
You know what?
I just found it funny.
The players he has been mentioning are proper budget buster options, because Honeyman is 5.8 million, priced at Longman is 5.4, so that
yeah.
fits the
Lewis
bill.
Potter's not, unfortunately, but yeah. I mean, actually, that's a good
Yeah.
point. If Lewis Potter was like in the budget buster range, I actually think he would
Mm.
be worth considering.
I think he started at the budget buster range, but probably has two price rises already. So yeah, not an option as of now. But Honeyman and Longman can be options, because in budget buster, who they play in 21 and 23.
We've got Reading
21 they
next,
play Reading. That's a
then
no. 23
Bristol City
Nottingham
United.
Forest.
Fixtures aren't bad. They're not
That
bad, but they have just had a
that's
run of quite easy games, which is
mm,
maybe why we've just got to be a bit cautious.
mm, yeah, just playing the budget buster midfield options. Just reminding, because major, I think next this game week, main basically 40 to 50% I think are playing budget buster. Every people that I have been in conversation with, they're saying, oh, we are playing budget buster. Good luck.
I hadn't even thought of that because like before I saw like everyone was like, yeah, Butcher Buster.
Yeah,
It's because of Fulham. Fulham
thing.
against Bournemouth. It's a good week to
Yeah,
go to like
that's
for
yeah,
Mitchell and
that's the
Solanke to
trigger.
both maybe not do as
Yeah,
well.
Okay,
yeah, that's the
that's
trigger. That's
But
the
if it's a
trigger
good
point.
game, like if it's a good game and it's like 2-2, they'll be
You know
involved,
what?
won't they? So it's
If
we'll see.
if Mitrovic, if it ends in 3-3 and Mitrovic and Solanke scores hat trick each, oh my days,
That would be
that's a disaster of a budget buster.
season
Touch
over.
touch wood for those who
let's
are
hope
playing.
not.
Sorry guys, I don't mean to.
Man,
Touch wood.
I'm like both excited and terrified of this weekend. It's like because of Budget Buster. It's like it's one of those boosts that's like it could. It's like that away days that was like I don't want
Yeah.
another instance of that away days that was just terrible. 73
Mm.
points on away days, beaten by many people who didn't play a boost. Anyway,
Yes.
that it's slightly
Oof.
terrifying. But, any final thoughts on the Hull assets? I think that's quite a good shout, David. Or should we move on to our teams this week?
I don't think any more Hull asset can be. Maybe if you're looking at a goalkeeper, then Ingram can be an option, but I don't think Ingram is a good enough option.
Yeah.
Speaking
Just
of
like
goalkeeper,
yeah, go on.
yeah. Speaking of goalkeepers, basically we have Moore and Lumley. So, what are the next set of goalkeepers that in place of Lumley, because seemingly he's out of favor and out of the club soon enough, because
So
from the reports I'm saying hearing or reading. So, what are your what are the options there? Because I am stumped there. I don't have any options.
I'm on Nichols of Huddersfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically been really good at home, pretty terrible away from home. But there was an interesting stat where I actually don't know if they rotate well with Moore. I wasn't really basing on that, but until the weekend when they lost to Middlesbrough, and before that they hadn't conceded a goal at home since September. They've actually been quite good defensively, and I've actually found myself on double Huddersfield defence for the Barnsley game at the weekend for Budget Buster. Got Colwell as well, who was benched at the weekend. Hopefully, the fact that they lost, he'll come back in. I think he will. I think it was just a rest. But yeah, I think Nichols is a shout. I think he's 4.8. I don't know what other options there are. Maybe is it Davis? Is it Davis or Bursic who's got the nod at the moment for Stoke? I think it's Davis. Maybe he's an option.
I think Bursic is also
Travers.
red colored, so I think he will be.
It's
He's
Davis then.
injured, I think. Yeah. And who plays for Lumley now in for Middlesbrough goal? Uh,
Daniels is playing.
so he
He's
can be
cheap.
another option.
He's like
Yeah.
4.4.
Mm. What? Whom?
David, do you have anyone that you would suggest?
Keepers.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I'm just looking at like the top list here, but yeah, it's quite even, like in the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not much else like cheap keepers
Mm,
around other than yeah. It's weird because like the most high scoring keeper that I can see is like Collins for Barnsley. So he must have got a crazy amount of saves and half clean
Yeah.
sheets because like I don't understand how he's
I don't
got
get
so
that.
high up.
That's mad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
He's like the keeper you should get for the cheapest keepers when that comes back again.
Yes.
But
Definitely.
yeah, other than that, yeah, it's
Mm.
like only expensive 5+ keepers.
Yeah.
It's like a minefield we have in goalkeepers. No more budget goalkeepers. All are upwards of 5.2 million and onwards. All are up that. Apart
Yeah,
from Nichols that Joe shouted, and apart from that, nobody
yeah, and
really.
I'm just looking at I had a list up like some minutes ago because and I just looked at the list and like what is this? Why are the points so weird? Because like I sorted it after bonus points and I just there were like only five six keepers that have bonus points at all. Like the one with the most points is five with Sluga
Oh,
for
okay.
Luton,
Mm,
Interesting.
and the rest is like 3 2 2 2 2 0 rest of the league.
Yeah.
So yeah,
mm,
that's an argument for just not using too much money in a goalkeeper spot because they
Yes.
never get bonus. And
mm,
I don't think a goalkeeper in Gaffr is worth 6.5 or 6.7 in Johnston
100%.
because like
Yeah.
you can
mm.
get a defender that's attacking and a midfielder like
Yeah.
as we have talked about that are so much better for the
Mm,
price. So
Completely
the,
agree.
I don't find a reason to not have more at the moment, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Until he loses, if he loses the spot, fine. But until then, yeah, just have him and maybe
Mm,
even downgrade your keeper to like the cheapest for your bench because if you have a
mm.
short of money, you don't want like to have Lumley sitting on your bench. So I'm considering like getting
Yeah.
rid of him because if I don't have a
Mm,
transfer to make because he
mm,
uses of money that I can use elsewhere.
Yeah.
mm,
Completely agree with everything you've said there. Yeah. Let's look at our teams then for
mm.
the weekend.
Let's
And I
go.
believe once again, Abhishek, you're up first. So talk us through what you're thinking in terms of transfer bans and captaincy is, and obviously worth
Mm.
saying at this point, the starting lineup you've seen for interview will probably not be the starting lineup. He ends up with looking at
Mm.
a couple of players on the bench there.
Yeah, yeah. The Swift and Johnson is definitely coming into my playing 11, and I was looking. I have two transfers, so I was looking at getting Fabio Carvalho in this week, but then I saw that Fulham plays Bournemouth, so maybe time to take Low out because he's injured at the moment. So possibly Low. I will do the boring move of moving Low to Spence, possibly. If not, then maybe Huddersfield defenders like Lees or Colville, because I do need to think about the budget buster in 20. I am playing in 23, so
Okay,
I'm
nice.
looking at. So I have 2 game weeks, 3 game weeks possibly to get in more because I'm not selling Mitrovic, I'm not selling Burriton, and I'm not selling Wilson. And apart from that, those three, and I need to take a look at Townsend as well because don't maybe I have to play Townsend if I don't go full 11 on my budget buster cheap boost. So if I can get to 10 or 9 at least, then that will be a pretty roundup for the budget buster, and that should be enough for the budget buster boost for those who are playing in 21. I think 8 to 9 players are enough for the budget buster. No need to take those things out like David did, take out Mitrovic for Solanke, and you did Wilson for. No need to do those harsh things, man. 8 to 9 players is fine enough for your budget buster boost. So yeah, that's looking likely. I think I will be benching I think chair because they are facing Stoke. So Swift and Johnson, and probably I think I need if Gabriel, I don't get any Blackpool news that somebody is injured or not, then maybe Gabriel gets the boot to the bench as well. But I'm definitely bringing in Swift and Johnson for that. So yeah, and as far as captaincy is concerned, I am looking to captain Burriton because he's playing Preston, who are horrible at the moment. Now, if I said that, they will pump goals against Blackburn and Burriton will blank. So never mind. Vice captain will be, I think, I will put it on Swift. And emergency captain, I think I will put it on Anderson. So yeah, that's the team that I'm going to go with.
Okay, so going against Rich Fitch, as I'm sure most
Hmm.
are. Cool. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good plan. David, you are up. Well, it's a bit of a weird. I don't know what's happened to the screenshot here. Basically, they can see it, but most of Simon Moore has been chopped off. But
Yeah,
apart from that, it's fine.
yeah, that's not an error. That's just the way my phone
Yeah.
works.
Okay, fair. Actually, I can't get it full screen on my phone as well. To be fair. So,
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about the Gaffr site. That it's pretty hard to get screenshots that can get like everything, because there's like ads and stuff. But yeah, they get money for it, so that's okay. So yeah, you might see who my captain is, the main man, of
yes.
course. And finally have an excuse to captain him because he's playing Petersburg and they are bad, I would say.
That's quite a yes. I think that is a good assessment of the situation.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that hard.
You're lucky that Fulham don't have a good fixture.
Yeah, and yeah, I think I don't like any of my striker options this week, so I can't believe I didn't see Solanke playing for the week after I got him. I don't know what I was thinking at the moment, but okay, never mind. Looks like I'm keeping Grant for another week.
Another
Because
player.
He needs to go.
Yeah,
yeah, I
how
know.
long will you own him?
Pirro's great. Pirro's a great player to have.
Yeah, he's
But
awesome,
Grant needs
but
to go.
yeah, what's the deal with West Brom and scoring goals? Like don't they have like 2-0-0s on the bounce?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, get in the bin. He's going next week, that's for sure. But he's playing commentary, so I don't have a reason to like.
That'll probably be another 0-0.
Yeah, I should probably just actually I should probably just bench him for Bree. Now I'm looking at it because he'll
Ooh.
probably get more points.
I
To
don't
be
know.
honest.
The reason why I'm kind of flinching at that is because I am so. One of the things I'm really bad at, in fact, especially it's kind of coming to Gaffr, is like benching the attacker and playing the defender because I think the clean sheet's more likely than the attacking return, even though the upside is lower. I did it this week. I put McFadden as my first sub rather than Giles, and he gets a 0 points because I thought you never know, might get a half clean sheet against Bournemouth. Giles isn't going to do anything. Giles gets 8 points. Don't get him off the bench. So like,
Yikes. Okay.
I'd probably actually play Grant to be fair.
Yeah, but that's just like because you had the bad experience last week and just think that it must happen again.
It's
but
not the first time though. I had it with Willock.
Yeah,
I
okay.
benched like a 15 pointer from Willock at the start of the season.
Yeah,
I've done it
I
in
know
FPL.
exactly.
I've done it loads of times.
I know exactly what you mean because I've done so many times as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll consider that one. Yeah. So Synchronagel is my captain, of course, and I hope he
Why not?
outscores the Johnson guy. And my vice captain
He will
is
not. He will definitely not.
yeah.
Hey, he scored a goal against the other week against was it West Brom? I think he scored.
Yeah, he got an 11 pointer. So yeah.
When did he score last?
A couple of games ago,
He
scored.
Yeah, he got a nice haul. So not all
One
is lost. Yeah. And yeah, I think I'm rolling the transfer this week because I need to get Mitrovic
Nice.
back again. And I was looking at transfers now, and I think I need a hit to get him back next week, even with 2 transfers. So not ideal, but if Wilson was at this price when the price I had when I sold him. I would cut him back right away, but he's got up like 0.5 million, so it's a bit harder. So yeah, but I'm rolling, and I hope my captains finally get something, because the 2-pointer from, or actually 1-pointer from Solanke last week was like a punch in the teeth.
Yeah.
Not good.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
hope
I
that
think that's
Swift.
my
I
thing.
hope that Swift blanks. Sorry, because that worries me. That fixture against Hull, that does worry me. Even though I'm not that scared of Swift. Okay,
Hello.
we're back.
Where are you?
My
Yeah.
internet decided to die for a second. Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, you were saying that.
Nothing. I
He's
am
gonna
saying
get-
nothing. You spoke about Switch. You spoke about studio. Internet died.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
We
Don't
were
do
talking
it.
about how good your team was, and
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
always
yeah,
how you always pick the best players, Joel.
yeah.
Keep going.
Great. Who's 35th? So, yes, I am scared of him, but only because it's Hull. Most of the time, I'm not that scared of him anymore. My team is Budget Buster. So as it stands, I have got how many? 1, 2, 3. I think I've got 6 at the minute in my team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7. And I think what I'm going to do is take Laird out for Ekpiteta, because Luton are not scoring many at the minute, and probably Chair or Patterson, haven't decided who, out for Carvalho. I kind of briefly entertained Anthony, but it's against Bournemouth, so it's probably not worth it. I think I'd rather keep that front three, and then I'll have him back. I won't need to kind of take hits to get him back or anything. So, because I think if I do those 2 transfers, bringing in Ekpiteta and Carvalho I can keep long term anyway. Ekpiteta I can probably keep for quite a while because he's so cheap. I think I would just then do Johnson up to Wilson, and then actually I'm really happy with my team. My front three still there. My midfield would be Wilson, Willock, Chair, Patterson. Happy days. And defence, yeah, okay, I'll have a cheap defence, but I'll still have Townsend, and then I'll have a cheap defence, but like they're fine. And it just takes maybe one more transfer up to a more expensive one, like a Bogle, maybe. And
You are going to that Bogle.
So, this will be a -4. A -4 to get to 9 budget players and be really happy with my team afterwards. I'm quite happy with that without an overhaul. And then we'll see. I will probably play Captain Fantastic, but I'm just going to wait until quite late on. 29 is quite a good week, I think, for that. So I'm just going to kind of hang on to it just in case we get any curveballs. Like, I don't like postponements that lead to a double. I think it's highly unlikely, but I'm just going to hold on to it. And also, like, in the first set, I played them all, and then it wasn't that nice, kind of not having any boosts left and everyone overtaking you. So I'm just going to, not rush to play that last boost. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm hopeful, but yeah, I don't know.
Who are your captains?
I don't have any captains because it's Budget Buster.
And what's your striker? I can't say that.
Oh, yes.
So let's think. I'm probably going to start. So, definitely.
I presume you're playing one.
Nichols, the 4 defenders. I'm just trying to think who I'd want to bench. I think I would play 4-4-2. Starting Brereton and probably starting Brereton and Mitrovic. The other option is to play Townsend instead of Mitrovic, but I don't think I dare.
Do it.
So it's probably 4-4-2 with Townsend, Solanke, and whichever one I decide to keep out of Chair and Patterson on the bench. So yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, the Budget Buster thing, because you have so many cheap options that can work. But yeah, Abhishek, you're playing it in some weeks.
On 23.
Yeah, and what are the fixtures for Fulham and Bournemouth that week? Because like, I think it's you're lucky that this week they're playing each other, Joel. But
Yeah.
other than that, it feels like a bit of a red herring that you can get really burnt on because you're benching the best players.
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
why I think I have to start Mitrovic really.
yeah, because you can
Yeah,
get like
Yeah.
double the points of a doubled 5.5 striker. So yeah.
because the rest there are players that don't have brilliant fixtures. So like Giles has Sheffield United. That's not great, but from him, I'm just kind of hoping for like a cheeky 5-pointer. You know, because he's been quite good for bonus. And look, Fadson against West Brom. That's where I'm like, just get me a half clean sheet, and I'm happy. And then Willock plays Stoke. So some of the budget players don't have brilliant fixtures. And I think the fixtures are probably a tad better in 23. But there's the extra risk of obviously the Fulham and Bournemouth games. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm like
It's
in no position to play it. I have like 2 players under the requirements. So yeah, fair play to you
mm,
for setting it up, but I will have to look at it a bit more if I'm
yeah, you
going to
have to
play
decide whether to overhaul or not.
it.
Probably.
Yeah,
mm,
A lot of people have been doing that. So
yeah,
mm,
I think it's
definitely
a
worth
nice
it.
strategy actually.
Yeah.
mm,
Especially if you kind of, especially like at this point as well. If at this point you don't kind of have many, and it's going to take 5-6 transfers, it's maybe not worth doing that.
mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I am to me overall, if your team really needs it, that is because hits reward you in Gaffr. Unlike other fantasy games, in Gaffr, if you take a hit, it will reward you due to those half clean sheets and those extra points. So I'm not too keen on overhaul, especially in this game. But if your team really badly needs it, then yeah, go for it. Because I think some guys from the EFL Fantasy Podcast they have overall into the Budget Buster team, and someone has overall out from the Budget Buster team. So
Yeah,
if you really want to attack those boosts, then you kind of need an overall to get out of those said
yeah,
boosty.
I like that much better because like if you're overhauling into a budget buster team, you're
Mm,
basically like taking away your good players for a worse team just to play a boost, and then you're stuck with them, and you have to take it to get the good players back. Uh,
mm,
so yeah, it's good that you Joel have like enough money to get Wilson back straight in, but if you go like overhaul and then forget about that, you can get
Yeah. I
so
guess you can, set it up that you have like the most important players on your bench, 3, really important players on your bench.
mm,
Maybe not have the full 11 when you overhaul. Maybe have like 9 or 10 budget players, and then have the rest are good and some on the bench. But yeah, I don't know. I think it is viable because you could make the argument that having a, because if you've got to like take hits to prepare for it, and you're taking out good players, like over the weeks that it takes to prepare for the budget buster, you probably might lose some points, and then you overhaul, and then if you're overhauling, you might have a better budget buster result anyway. That might
mm,
kind of end up outweighing, especially considering we don't have like a Juicy's keepers or a goal fest involved, and it would just be like a Captain Fantastic, kind of one of those boosts that's okay, but not got the highest ceiling. I can kind of see why you'd maybe sacrifice one of those boosts. But I'm very happy with what I've done with it, so hopefully
mm.
it will
Yeah,
go well.
yeah. Before I move on, sorry, there was movement in my video because
No, that's fine.
I was going to close the door.
No problem.
So sorry for that. So yeah, pretty much sums it up this week, I think.
Yes.
Any more burning questions?
No, not from me. I think it's time to wrap things up. And what I
Hmm.
am conscious of is actually we didn't ask for any questions on Twitter. Although
Oh
we
yes.
did kind of arrange this last minute, we will do that for the
Hmm.
next one.
yeah,
Um,
if you had questions this time, the pod would be 3 hours long. So
that is
yeah,
true.
maybe next
Yeah.
time.
Next time, next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we could just have a Q&A episode.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That might be quite
Maybe
fun.
a Chris. Yeah, maybe to kind of when everything goes for a winter break. We have a winter break, right? think so. We have a winter break.
of sort. I know in the Premier. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's like in the Premier League where you have that split game week
Mm.
over 2 weekends, but we don't really have it like
Mm.
the other leagues do. But
Yeah, maybe we can do an end of year 2021 Q&A so far. That we can do
yeah,
like that to go into the new year.
yeah, we could do
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you enjoyed that. I
Mm.
think that was a bit different, but some interesting
Yeah.
points raised, and I don't think, and it's quite good that we didn't all agree on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantasy football for you. That's like
Yeah.
it's good to discuss things like that. So,
Yeah.
hope you have a good rest of the week. Enjoy the Premier League midweek action.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
I
not particularly looking forward to
think.
getting battered by Liverpool tomorrow, but yeah, and we will see you very very soon. And
Mm.
yeah, do all the things like liking and subscribing
Uh,
and all that good stuff.
yeah.
And we will see you very soon.
Mm.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.